Hi, so this is my introduction to Google Forms. The G Suite online has full YouTube videos that you can watch to find out Google Forms, but it's sometimes a little bit more helpful to have somebody walking you through it. The screen that I'm on right now is the actual Google Forms section of my Google Drive. You can tell you're in your Google Drive because there's this little waffle up here. And then over here, you can see my picture. If I were to click on that picture, it tells me that I'm logged in with my ssteely@sandy.net email account. If I was logged in with the wrong account, I would click on Add Account, and it would give me the option to choose my other account. To navigate to this page, if I wasn't already on it, I would open up a new window. I would type in forms.google.com and hit enter, and it would take me to this page. Again, I can tell I'm inside my Google Drive because I can see my waffle, I can see my name, and I can see this help with the new G Suite. So when creating a form, if you want a form that's just for data collection, you'll want to create a blank form. If you want a form that's going to become a quiz, you'll want to click on a blank quiz form. So what I'll do first is I'll show you how to create a basic form, and then I'll show you what it looks like on the other end when your students respond to the form. So for example, if I wanted to create a form for data collection, start a new form. At the very top where it says untitled form here, this is where you're going to want to give your form a title. So sample form for instruction. If you go up to the top left corner, if you just click right there, it's going to give your form the same title as that. You can change the title if you want to, but usually I just leave them the same. The description is where the instructions go, so I write something like, please fill out this form. If you want to change the way it looks, the color palette, you can make it pink, you can make it blue. You could add a picture if you wanted to. It's a terrible part of the picture. Um, they've got sample ones too, so let's see. There, picnic. All right, so it starts you off with one question here, and it says untitled question. When you click in there, it's going to let you type the question. If this is something I'm giving to students, I always make my very first one last name. And then instead of multiple choice, you're going to click on this drop-down menu and make it a short answer question. That means it gives them a nice short line. You want to make it required, otherwise they'll forget to fill it out. If you want a description to help them fill it out, you click on these three dots and click description. I usually don't need a description for last name. And then down here, you can add things. So you could add a video, an image, or additional text. But for last name, they just need their last name. And then to add your next question, you click on the plus sign, and it'll create another question. So the next question that I would do then is first name, short answer, required. And then because this is just a sample form, I'm just going to write, what is your favorite color? And then I'll make it another short answer. Or actually, I'll show you how to do multiple choice. So for this one, we make it multiple choice. And then you can pick red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. And then I'll make that required. And if that's all I want, just a quick survey for their colors, I'm all done. You'll notice up here it says all changes have been saved in Drive. It's because it saves them automatically. And then I hit send. You have the option to automatically collect the respondent's San Diego Unified School District username. It's helpful because it will give you their ID number. So if you think that they might forget their name or you just want to have their ID number collected next to it, you can use that. You don't have to. You can send the form via email, but what I found the easiest to do is to send it via link. I always shorten it so it looks shorter. And then you'll see it popped up this command, press Command C to copy, or you can click copy here. And then you give the students this link. You can give it to them through email, you could write it on the board, you could put it in your Google Classroom. But now they have this link. So then if we open up a new window, I'm just actually going to go ahead and paste that link. And now this is how your student will see the form. So sample form for instruction, I am a student. I type in my last name, my first name. I scroll down. Today my favorite color will be red. And I hit submit. I did not lock it so they could only send one response at a time. So now it's giving them the other option to submit another response. Those are choices that you can edit also, but for the basic purposes, I'll make one more response just so we can see. Student sample yellow. All right, so there's two responses. So if you see there's two tabs up here, this one is the one that you created. This one is the one that students were responding on. If you go back to the one that you created, you'll see that now at the top there's questions and then there's a responses tab. If you click on the responses tab, you can now see a summary of the responses. I don't usually find the summary page super helpful, unless I just wanted like a quick picture. Okay, half the class picked yellow and half the class picked red. But what's more helpful is either individual summary. And an individual summary, I'm sorry, it keeps blinking back and forth like that. In individual summary, you can see the whole like form for each student. So this is the first one I filled out, and then you can click over to the next one and you could print those out if you needed to. And then the other helpful part is a spreadsheet. The first time you go to look at the spreadsheet, let me just show you where I found that again. It's up here. It's the little green cross in the responses tab. You click on the green cross, create a new spreadsheet, create, and it shows you the timestamp, last name, first name, and what the favorite colors are. So you'd be able to have a record of all of those responses. So that's the very basics of using Google Forms. If you wanted to just do it for a simple exit slip, if you go back to the original Google Forms tab, they actually have a blank template for exit ticket. Again, this is what you get to by typing in forms.google.com. It redirects you here. So forms.google.com will take you right to this page. And you can actually use it for exit ticket. It has one already designed for you. It's already called exit ticket. It has name. I like to do last name and first name so that I can alphabetize it by last name. So you could always edit that in here if you wanted to change it. You could even just do last name, comma, first name. The instructions are already there. Before you leave class today, answer the following questions. This one asks for their email address. What's one important thing you learned? Did you feel prepared or not? So it's super basic. You can just change it to however you want it. Once it looks the way you want it, again, you hit send. You copy the link and you distribute the link to your students. Another kind of form that they have in here is a pre-made assessment. And the pre-made assessment asks again for name, email address, and then it's set up here. If you look under question, there's option 1, correct answer, option 3, option 4. The reason for that is that this is a graded quiz with an answer key. So you pick which one is correct, you put in feedback, you assign the number of points. So if I was making a quiz question, my first question might be like, who, I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. Who was the first president? And then option 1 would be John Adams. Option 2, remember you type the correct answer there, George Washington. Option 3 will be Mrs. Steele. Option 4 is Bob Marley. And then I go down and I continue doing that for the other ones too. You'll notice for the short answer questions, it has you put 0 points. The reason for 0 points is that it's only programmed to grade multiple choice. Let me show you what an actual quiz looks like because I know this form is a little bit overwhelming. So for example, this is my forms. These are forms that I actually give out. I'm going to go ahead and find a form that I'll show you 2 different forms and then my 15 minutes of recording will be up. So first form, I made a pass list. We talked about keeping track of when kids come in and out of class. So this one is a pass list. I just made it called Steely Pass List, last name, first name, period, reason for being out of class, and notes. I've been filling this out myself. I think that I might get to the point where I would ask students to fill it out, but we'll see. When I click on responses, again, it gives me a list. I don't find this screen super helpful. The one that I find helpful is the spreadsheet. And here what I have is a list of which students leave my class, what period they leave, and why. And then I can actually sort it by last name. So I know who's leaving my class repeatedly. So I know that like Ben left twice, Christy left twice, Alex has left twice. And you can actually see that like some people leave multiple times during the same class period, which is good information. Like this kid goes to the bathroom during period 7 every single day. Let's see if they're going during other classes. So that's a really basic information collection. And then a form that I use for grading, for example, I've given this basic computing skills assessment. So it covers the first 7 modules of their computing skills. So they enter their last name, their first name, and then they take a quiz. After you power on, so last name, first name, and then a quiz. So I'm going to go to the send option. Link, copy, Command V. So if I was going to take this quiz, it would look like this. And then I fill it out. My last name is Steely. My first name is Shelly. My email address will be recorded. And I answered these questions. I'm not going to answer it all the way because I'm running out of time. So I would answer all those questions. And then I would go back to my basic computing skills form. I click on responses. And this is helpful because it gives me insights. It tells me which questions people frequently missed. It tells me everybody's score next to their email address and when they took the quiz, median score, etc. And then that spreadsheet is going to show me everybody. So name, district username, and then their scores are right here. So it graded the quiz for me. I know that was a lot of information in 15 minutes. I hope it was helpful. Please let me know if it's something you want to try. If the features look like something you would use, I'm happy to give more in-depth responses, especially on that workshop date we have next week, November 10th. Thanks.